Good morning. Good morning. It's my honor at this time to say a few words about another genuine American hero, Tom Sima. Thomas W. Sima, Lieutenant Colonel of the United States Air Force, retired, was born in 1932. At age 21 in 1953, he enlisted in the Air Force. 2 years later, in 1955, he successfully completed the aviation cadet program, was commissioned a second lieutenant, and awarded his wings as a USAF pilot. 10 years later, on October 15, 1965, Captain Tom Sima was shot down. He was flying an F-105D out of Tak Lee in Thailand on a combat mission over North Vietnam. Bad weather over the target area had forced him to fly at low level in the zone of lethal ground fire. After the aircraft was hit, he ejected successfully just after the airplane exploded. He found himself in a dense jungle area, and the Vietnamese were shooting at him. This, of course, is a no-no under the rules of war, but as we used to say, no one promised us a rose garden. Not the time to begin the negotiations in any event. Sima started running. He reached the village. Totally exhausted, he figured he'd hide behind something. He soon felt the sharp poke of a bayonet in his back. He knew he'd been captured. His North Vietnamese captured forced him on a 3-day walk to Hanoi into the famous, or infamous, Hanoi Hilton, where he spent 7.5 years as a prisoner of war. During his captivity, Tom Sima was moved from camp to camp under barbaric conditions. This included cells no larger than 6 feet by 4 feet, with a concrete floor, deplorable sanitary conditions, and a starvation diet. He and his fellow POWs were routinely subjected to barbaric torture that left him with physical problems half a century later. Sima estimates that 99% of his time as a prisoner of war, his food was some kind of soup. There were cans of fat that came from China that would be mixed in. Mostly the soup was in the form of greens. When pumpkins were in season, it was pumpkin soup. Sima reported that for a period of 3 consecutive months, his food consisted of nothing but pumpkin soup. He commented that all the meat he ate in 7+ years as a POW, he could probably handle in one sitting back at home. Prisoners had different names for the various camps, including the Zoo and the Briar Patch. Each camp had strict rules. We couldn't talk, he said, that was forbidden. Some resisted. Sima admitted that he was indeed one of those, and he paid for it. Everyone lost weight and was in poor health. Sima said he dropped below 100 pounds. For a time, he was fed just once a day. He was also tortured. He reported, quote, "They used techniques where I would pass out from pain," unquote. The meat hook was a favorite instrument of torture. The hook was suspended from the ceiling. During a torture session, a routine torture session, the Vietnamese tied a prisoner's hands and feet, and then tied his hands to his ankles, sometimes behind his back, sometimes in front. The ropes were tightened to the point that you couldn't breathe. Then, bent over at the waist, the prisoner was hoisted up on the hook to hang by the ropes. Guards would return at intervals to tighten the ropes until all feeling was gone. The prisoner's limbs turned purple and swelled to twice their normal size. This would go on for hours, occasionally days. Late in 1972, Sima said he and others were taken to a camp near the Chinese border. He reported they could hear the B-52s bombing in the distance, which provided something of a boost in their morale and their optimism. Sima and others ended up back in Hanoi, where restrictions were loosened, and sometimes something obviously was about to happen. For the first time since becoming a prisoner, Sima was given socks, shoes, pants, and a shirt. Until then, it had been underwear in the summer and pajamas in the winter. Suddenly, in 1973, 591 American prisoners were released. Sima was flown to the Philippines, then Hawaii, and eventually Andrews Air Force Base near Washington. Because he was afflicted with the disease beriberi, as a consequence of the malnutrition he suffered in captivity, Sima was hospitalized there for 45 days. Later, while stationed at Maxwell in Montgomery, Sima met his future wife, Margaret, who was originally from Dothan. Sima said he still has dreams about North Vietnam, but the nightmares are finally gone. It's over, he said. For his heroism, Tom Sima was awarded 2 Silver Stars, the Bronze Star, and the Distinguished Flying Cross, both with a V device for valor, and the Legion of Merit for, quote, his exceptionally meritorious conduct and the performance of outstanding service to the government of the United States as a prisoner of war in North Vietnam. He also, of course, was awarded the Prisoner of War Medal. I'm told he is now residing in an assisted living facility in Buffalo. We thank Tom Sima for his heroic service. May God bless him, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.